Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today I have a special treat for you. We are going to use Kyala Give Hands Mixed Media Inspiration deck, the new deck called the Empowerment Edition. And we are going to do Cali Black's Dice and Deal Challenge with these. So as most of you will know, the art community lost a precious soul in April. Cali Black passed away. And I've belonged to her Dice and Deal group since, I think since it began. I've done all the prompts. I may have, not sure if I joined in January 2017 or a month or two after that, but I have done all the prompts. And the people in that group are wanting to continue on in Cali's name. So I have the new deck of cards and offered to do the prompts. And there were I was given some encouragement from the group, and nobody had any problems with that. So going forwards, we will see how this works out, and perhaps I'll have one for you next month as well. I'm not going to use Cali's name in the title or in the keywords, as I don't want to be using her name to get hits, but this is in her honor and totally her thing, which we are continuing on in her memory. So what we do is we roll 2 dice, and if the number is 4 or higher, that's how many prompt cards we pick out of the deck. And then we do those prompts in order on whatever type of substrate you are using. You can use, I'm using an art journal page, which I've prepped with gesso. You can use an ATC, postcard, a piece of canvas, art journal, anything that you want to do it on. So without further ado, let's get started as soon as I have a couple of dice. So let's get started. I've shuffled these cards a lot already, but we'll shuffle them again. Okay, so let's roll our dice and see how many prompts we're going to do. Give it a blow. 8. Ooh, boy. Okay. So, we're going to do 8 prompts. Just put the pile over here. Well, I'll show you. I'm going to pick this one off of the top. And I will write them down on a piece of paper here so we know where we are. So, number 1 is scribble on the surface with a water-soluble material. Okay, that's easy, and that's a good one. So let's just write. Okay, so let me get a gelato. Let's go for red. I like red. So we're going to scribble all over the top with this. Good enough. Okay, so I wonder if I can and get this in screen so you can see me picking off. Okay, number 2. Use black gesso or black paint to cover something on the surface. Okay, so 2 is black gesso. Again, this is not difficult. Let me get my black gesso. Too bad it didn't say white, and then I would have gone over the whole thing. But I don't think we're going to be able to see any of the color through this. I'll just use this to put my paint on. Just a little bit. Okay, so if we just get a little bit, let's see what happens. This brush has a lot of glue on it. Let me get a better brush. It's not so good. I got too many glue brushes here. Okay. Well, together, the colors aren't really making anything nice, are they? I'll make a frame. Okay. So, going to pick up card number 3, which says create your own. Okay. So, okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is cover in that so that I have a background. I was wanting white gesso before, so I think that's what I'll use now. If I can get a brush that's not full of glue. Yeah, let me clean off my black brush here. Okay, so let's put some white gesso in here. Maybe we'll get some pink. Ooh. We do. And the gesso dries pretty fast, so I didn't take my heat gun to that black. It's dry already. Okay, so let's try and go over the scribble lines and make them blend into the page. Not sure now if I want this black in the middle. So I'm going to make this one whole picture. Ugh. Getting a bit of black into that now. So remember, when you do this step, you can do whatever you want. Make up your own thing. I didn't give it much thought because it already said that the white gesso would mix with this and make pink, so decided to do it. I think pink and black together. Of course, I like a much brighter pink with my black, but who knows what is going to come up. Okay, so let's make that nice and even, and I'm going to put more on here cover that in. I shouldn't have done that in the first place. Wasn't really thinking. Okay, so let's bring some of the pink back into there. Maybe. I said do whatever I want, so I'm going to put some red back in there. Okay, let's leave it at that because it's starting to be a mess. Alright, we got lots more to go, so we can fix this. So that's only step 3 of 8. So, I'm going to take the next card off of the pile, and this will be, whoops, still the pile. Okay, so this is step number 4. We'll be halfway there. Add paint using something other than a paintbrush, such as a key card, credit card, a brayer, fingers, craft sticks, Q-tips, chopsticks, makeup sponge, etc. Anything that you can think of. Okay, so this is great. We're getting all sorts of background type things. Okay. So, I'm going to dry this. Then that way my colors aren't going to get all mixed together. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to add paint with a credit card or just a gift card. So I'm using bubblegum pink from Dilutions. Get that off there. Sorry if my head's going in. Dropped a little piece of paint. There we go. All right. What's over here? Got my credit card. And let's go. So we're halfway there. Now, I'm hoping we'll get something to give it a little bit of depth. Or I'd be okay with an image. Alright, so let's pick up number 5 is go back 4 cards and repeat the prompt. So, that takes us 1, 2, 3. It takes us right back to our very first card, which is to scribble on the surface with a water-soluble material. Okay. So, I think I'll keep whatever wetness is there. Let's put I don't know. Should we put green in there? Pink? Okay, I'm going with a really light green. It doesn't have the color on it. I think it's mint. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this. And let's do some scribbles. Okay. It's just very light. Let me get some up here too. There. Okay, so I'm not doing too much with my scribbles. Okay, 3 more to go. Let's hope this turns into something. Okay, card number 6. Only use the primary colors to create a repeated shape. Okay. So, I can only use the primary colors. So that is blue, yellow, and red. Correct? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going with. And I need to make a repeated shape. Well, a stencil would be good for that. If I could get a stencil. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've got some Dilutions Post Box red here, and I am going to use squares. We got this kind of like a checkerboard pattern, and I'm going to put some squares on this. Sponge, and let's put some squares. So this really adds to the depth of our piece. But really need to get a focal image on here. And turn it over. No, I think we need to use a little bit. Just a little bit. It's not here. No. Oh, yeah, that's good. Like that better. Let's just wipe off the stencil again. Okay, so we've got 2 left. We've got ourselves an interesting background. Card number 7. Stop and shuffle the entire deck. Okay, so does that count as 7? No, I think this would be like a skip your turn. So, I'll just write down with shuffle. Okay, so I'll keep that one out because we used it. I have to shuffle the deck. Okay, so I reshuffled. Okay, now what is number 7 going to be? Gel medium or modeling paste through a stencil. Oh no. Alright, I'm going to dry this. I think I'm going to look for a stencil that could be a main image. So, it's pretty dry. I've got some molding paste. And I have decided to use the wolf on this stencil. I'm going to put it that way. And then I'm going to turn it over and put it that way. Let's get my paint out of the way. Now, I will use, we'll use a palette knife. Okay, so here's some molding paste. You know, I always cover this with paint, so I'm actually not sure if it's going to dry white or if it's going to dry clear. Okay, and now because I want to flip it the other way, I'm going to have to go wash my stencil, or else I'll just transfer all the blobby stuff because I need to turn it this way. So I'll be back in a sec. So we're all ready to go on this side. Oops. Well, first of all, I've just noticed that I have a few stray bits of modeling paste that I don't want there. Okay, so continue with this. Of course, you can use gel medium, and you can use any kind of stencil. I'm kind of cramped here, that's why it's looking so awkward. No matter how many times I clean my surface area, I always end up with a postage stamp size to work on. Well, that's where those marks are coming from. I'm getting the leaf that's beside it a bit. Let's get his feet. Okay. Now, I'm never a stickler for cleaning or drying things right away, but if you want to keep your stencils, clean them right away after using modeling paste on them, or else they will become so thick you can't use them. So I will be right back. Are we ready? It is time for number 8. I am hoping for something to draw with. So if it's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so here we go. This is number 8. Add numbers to your art. Oy, oy, oy. Alright, so the only thing I can think of adding numbers to this is to do more background stuff. Unless I got a stamp or a stencil with numbers on it and put it on those guys. I have an idea. I'm gonna have to go get some stuff and dry this properly. It's almost there, but not quite. So, right back. Our last card is add numbers to your art. So it did take me too long to figure out what I was going to do, but I did have to concentrate on it a bit. What I've got right now is, I've got a great background. I've added some focal points, but they're blending into the background. The ink from below, or the paint I should say, is seeping up to the top of the white gesso, which is pretty cool if you were going for that effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these stencils back on, and then I have a number sticker. This is actually one of my favorite number stickers that I have, and it's just an AliExpress. And I am going to fill in my character with the stencil. And this should hopefully give it some dimension. I'm talking with every push. On there, I want a number on that paw. There we go. Don't know what this is going to look like when it's done. Stamping out nicely though. More tail. More in the belly. There. No, I missed his bottom jaw. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's what I was going for. So let's do the other one, and I will just wipe the ink off of this a bit since I have to twirl it around. I'm not getting any ink off anyway, so. Alright, so this one, look over a bit. Okay. This one, to get it on. There we go. So it's matched up. And okay. There we go. So that is the end of the 8 challenges. It needs something. So when I'm finished a page, I try to follow the rules and not do anything extra. But if just a little something is needed to make it much better, then I kind of go with the flow. So what I want to do is outline those wolves. So I'm going to do that. This is extra. I'm taking this one step further. Once you have finished the add your numbers, what am I doing? Once you have finished the add your numbers cards, you can be done. Or you can join me and add a little extra. This is just graphite, so we'll see if it does enough. But yeah, I don't think it's going to. I'm going to stick everything. Yes. Oh, do I think we're going to I think that's how I want to. Use a burger. Here. You know, it's different at least. Show me. Oh. Right here. And that's those legs. Okay. I'm going to do this like that. I want to keep watching this. Do that in a second. Excuse me. Okay, there. We have it. That is the whole picture. I will do a little zoom in so you can see it a little better. I don't even know if you can see the wolves on camera. Yeah, I think you can. Okay, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dice and Deal. Hope you played along with me, or you've watched and written out the prompts and will join me some other time. If you're already in the Dice and Deal Facebook group, post your pictures on there for us all to see. And if you don't belong, because I don't believe new members can subscribe at this time, but and So if you do the challenge, just hashtag it with dice and deal. So it's not dice and deal, it's dice, letter N, deal. All one word. And then we'll get to see them. So thank you very much for joining me, and blessings to all.